This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan, and you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kelly Stevens with the Northern Macomb Regional Chamber, and today I am here with some of our seasoned TNT leadership people. To my right, I have John Lask, Farm Bureau Insurance. He is our co-chair of our Wednesday group in Romeo. Across from John is Karen Makuta. She's on our board, and she is our chair to our brand new group out in Richmond. And then next to Karen is Renee Smith. She is currently co-chairing with another group or another member in the group, Julie, to the Tuesday group. Okay.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to start with Renee, since you are probably the longest standing TNT member here.
I'm a veteran.
You are a veteran. Tell me what prompted you when you joined the chamber. Was it to get into one of our networking groups, or was it just to get your name associated with the chamber?
Oh gosh, kind of a little of both. I mean, I was brought in actually to the networking groups from Julie Crumholes, who her and I had done some business together, and she invited me.
Why don't you explain what your business is?
So, yes, well, that would help. I'm Renee Smith. I am with Title Partners. I'm a business development manager with Title Partners. We handle title insurance. So if you ever buy, sell, or refinance a home in the state of Michigan, you are required to have title insurance. It is the insurance that protects the largest investment that you'll ever purchase, sell, or refinance.
So Julie asking you to come was a natural fit since she is a mortgage
loan officer. Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, her and I had done some business together, and I was just I'd been in the real estate market all my life, but never had networked anywhere ever. I had
this was your first time?
This was one of my first associations with any type of networking. Although, like I said, I had been on the mortgage side for about 18 years before that. I had little kids. I wasn't familiar with the whole networking organizations and groups and things. And who knew? I guess I probably should have been, although maybe it wouldn't have led me to where I'm at today either. So I went in, I joined the chamber, I went to my first meeting, and I guess that's history from here, because I have not stopped since. And that was, gosh, I want to say maybe 10.
It's going to be 10.
At least 10
years.
Yeah, at least 10 years ago. And it was just a great fit. It's been a wonderful whirlwind of opportunities. And like I said, I wish I would have known about these types of organizations or opportunities way back then. But again, had I not, maybe I wouldn't be here where I'm at today. So
I'm going to switch over to John.
Okay.
John is with our Wednesday group, and I think you've been in there about 6 years?
Yes, 6 years. I opened my Farm Bureau agency a little over 6 years ago in Washington, and immediately came to the chamber and joined the chamber as an ambassador as well, and into the networking group. So, yeah.
So you've had many leadership roles in this group.
Yeah, I've been kind of moved around a little bit. Yeah, participated, but.
So when you joined the networking group, what was your want out of that for your business?
I think most importantly, and it's not always, everybody talks about networking, and it's not always what you get out of it, it's what you give. And that's when you get it back, right? So, having better relationships with other business owners in the community, because they're an extension of me when I can refer those people. So it's always great to be able to participate and have those people per se in your back pocket. That because I'm always listening. It's always conversations. I'm on the phone all day. I'm talking to people, and you hear people make comments about, I'm going to be refinancing my home, or I'm putting my home up for sale, or whatever the case might be. And again, it's just one way that I can build relationships with others in the community that I can help them, which in turn also helps me down the road. So,
Absolutely. Now, Karen, you jumped in probably about a year ago as a member to the chamber.
Yes.
And I think you were working a lot in the Armada area. And when we said that we were going to expand over into Richmond, for us, it was a natural. They were screaming for a networking group over there. And we held our first meeting, and you right away raised your hand to be leadership.
Me, pick me, pick me. Yes. Once I heard that the merger, if you will, was coming on for Lennox and Richmond and Romeo, pretty much like drop my bag, run to the office, find out what I can do to get more involved. Whether it was, I didn't think at this point, already a year and a half into it, that I would be a chair of a Richmond TNT group and on the board. So it was kind of, once I heard of bringing over that side of town, me just moving out to Lennox, just trying to get involved, more involved in networking, getting to expand my group of sphere of people. As John said, you want to have those people in your back pocket. So I was already working a little bit in our Armada Richmond area. And when this came about, it was definitely something I was interested in.
I was pleasantly surprised when we launched that group. I think from the get-go, you had 17 people at that first meeting.
Yes.
Maybe a few have dropped. You're about 14 now.
I think I was incorrect the other day when I said it. I think we're still at 17 because nobody has dropped out of the group yet.
Right.
We have
Which is impressive
Yes.
to have. We're brand new over there as the chamber, and then for them to get in and participate like that, that's awesome.
Yes, it's been excellent. The city of Richmond has been overwhelmingly have great responses to the group. Obviously, John Moore is in the group as well, but there's a lot of hype around being in Richmond and having the chamber back in town.
So being a part of these networking groups, has it helped your business? And I'll start with Renee.
Oh, goodness, yes, absolutely, 100%. Like I said, I not realizing what I could have had back doing this years ago, and there's differences between those different networking groups as well. I mean, I tried a lot of them in the beginning, like I said, and I pretty much have stuck with the TNT groups because I love being, I don't know, maybe it's just being in the small town. My kids went to school here. They've all grown up here. It just was nice to be with people that you know, and you do business with people and you like, know, and trust, right? So just kind of made sense, and it has expanded my sphere of influence tenfold, just getting to know people through the TNT group. And it's priceless to be able to join the chamber and have that as an extension.
As a perk of membership.
Yeah.
And I will say the Tuesday group has a unique situation, the businesses that are working together. And I'll start with Julie. It's you. We have a lawyer in there, Ed Myjack. We have Pat Bruin doing insurance. Am I missing somebody? They collaborate on so much business.
Yes, we do. I mean, like I said, it has helped because you really get to know those people that you're in the group with versus some of the other groups that I was part of in the past. You go in and you try and exchange business and referrals, but you really want to work with people that you have a good rapport with. Not everybody's going to have the same rapport with, even your clients that you're passing on, might not have the same rapport with certain people. So there's just a good synergy, I guess, between us and our group for sure, and that Tuesday group where we just know we can trust each other without a fault.
Well, you're confident in
absolutely.
recommending that person.
Absolutely, 100%. And, really anybody that belongs to most of the groups in the chamber, they're all, they're there for a reason. It's not just a coffee group typically, whereas some of those other groups that I did visit and were with for a short period of time, I paid a lot of money to go drink some bad coffee.
John, before we started, you talked a little bit about the COVID era and our networkings, and jump into how we had to realign the ship.
Right? Yeah. That was rather challenging. Obviously, initially, everything being shut down, that forced closure of all the buildings, so there was no in-person meetings. So we kind of jumped over to doing the
Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah, I was going to say Teams. I'm so used to using Teams now. The Teams platform, and we did that, and we were pretty regular on it. We had really good attendance on that, and as soon as we could, we wanted to get back meeting face to face, and we did that as quickly as possible. As soon as we could get back in the library there, and even when some people still were not either comfortable coming back or for whatever reasons, we still kept that Zoom open to those members so that they could participate in those meetings. So we always had a laptop there. We always allowed that participation just as if they were sitting there with us. And that kept our core very strong. The commitment from the group that we had, that we still have today, was fantastic. And that all goes back to those relationships, right? These are people I trust because I have been with them all this time. And you go through those things, and even if I don't have someone in my own group that I can refer to, I look to another TNT group because I know people in other groups, and I can talk to someone there and, hey, who do you have or who do you know in your group that can refer me that you trust? So it's deeper than just our group, it
Right.
really is.
And we're fortunate to have these 5 groups with the chamber. We really, when we took on Richmond, we launched that one, and then we launched the new noontime down in Washington, which seemed to be a huge hit with people that cannot do the 8 a.m. Program. What happened to TNT, though, after the pandemic was kind of interesting. These groups always met on a weekly basis. And when we came out of that, we went to a biweekly. I think that fit people's schedules a little bit better. So, John, do you think it's been a value to your business?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I've got some great relationships. I have great referral sources. I mean, as well as people I can refer to, and that's huge. Like I said, I talk to so many people a day, and it's really great to have that and those relationships. That I'm very confident that if I know that I've got someone that has a financial need, like for financial services, I mean, Taylor is my guy, right? Mortgages in my group is going to be Jen,
Right,
And
yeah.
so yeah, it's crucial. It really is.
Karen, your new group with those 17, and basically they're our brand newest chamber members. Are you seeing the synergy in the group? Are you being able to, as they are doing on Tuesday, to connect the dots with doing business together?
Yes, I think so. It may be a little slower, but that's understandable for a newer group.
Sure.
However, for myself, I've already got to meet a new realtor who refers me business. So probably from last year to this year, I would say my business, because of the chamber and networking group, has doubled.
That's awesome.
For sure, hands down. Being able to have that realtor source, an extra one, already doing a loan for first-time homebuyer of a member of my TNT group, and then their referrals about that. And then we have a printer that we refer business to a lot, but there is definitely synergies of referrals going around. Some maybe more than others, which is just sometimes a part of trying to figure out how to get to that point. Again, it's getting to know people, building those relationships, and sometimes that takes more time, for others. But we're definitely
Basically,
getting there.
you guys are brand new over there, so you
Right.
don't really know each other.
Exactly.
Where, as John said, he was been in the chamber, so and as an ambassador, that also stretches your reach to
Yes.
your circle here in the chamber.
Yes, and as John also said, it's kind of more. Of course, the chamber overall is more than just the TNT group and even the ambassador group, because you can just tap on somebody's shoulder and say, "Hey, would you be willing to go do a one-on-one or grab a quick coffee?" And certainly, just getting to know someone is basically how that brought me to this table as well, and brought me to the group, is knowing someone who referred me over and handing over another phone number and going to have coffee with that person, a second person, and then I just walked over to the office and signed up to the group. But there's definitely referrals going around. I think that most importantly, to always give as much as you take. I think some might need to be a little bit more, conscious of that, but everybody's getting there. We're getting to know one another. We're trying to do more mixers together, more events together. The more you can do that and collaborate, the bigger and better relationships you can build.
Well, and to your point, when you said, about, not only just taking, but the giving part, people are so much more committed to you when you're, sending things their way, right?
Absolutely.
They feel that commitment that, hey, I've got to do something to reciprocate that. And that's huge too. So, but again, that all goes back to that commitment, the relationships. Like I said, they're great groups. It's so.
Definitely.
Each group has its own personality. and I'm going to go to Renee on this. You guys, I know Ed Myjack every time you meet. What is his role?
So he's our quote. There is the name for it. Probably better.
Positive uplift.
Yes, he gives us a positive mental attitude as we leave the group every other Tuesday, or the second and fourth Tuesday, I should say, of the month. So yeah, he's kind of just taken on our role as we can't leave that day without a quote, and God forbid the days he's not there. I mean, we do usually come up with one on the fly if somebody does that, but it's yes, it is really just a great way to end our meeting. I don't even know how it started, to tell you the truth. It might have started with him giving.
It is with him, because I remember when he came in there. Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know how we started him doing that. I don't know. He didn't always do it.
Oh, he didn't?
No,
okay.
Oh, no, he didn't always do it. I'll have to go back and figure out when that kind of came about, but it kind of happened, and then we just kind of expected it of him. And so now he just does it, and it's absolutely wonderful, because it's always some kind of funny, uplifting, motivational quote to end our meeting. So
That's a great idea. That's
it's
something.
really, it is. If you
That's
can
why
get somebody,
I brought it to the table.
yes,
Yeah.
if you can get somebody that'll like just take that on for you, and just, I mean, he writes his out every time he comes in. He's got his paper and his whole thing. It's great. So yeah.
Well, and I think, he's like 85, still going to work.
And let me tell you, I do a lot of business with him, and he's amazing. He really, I mean, it's great to see, and great to know that, yes, one of these days when you start feeling like you're
Want to be out of here?
You go, if that's still doing it, and he's still giving us quotes every
Nice.
So Karen, I feel like your group, you're heading up the social aspect of it, because you've been the lead on, setting up these mixers. Talk about that a little bit.
It actually has been primarily me, but a combination with Sarah from First State Bank and Janelle from Edward Jones. They both have stepped up. They're my co-chair and communications coordinator, but they also, along with me, had seen, okay, we can kind of see in half the group is the ones that are kind of rocking and rolling, referring around. The others like, oh, you already know what I do, not trying to get to know people better, even in the group. So we felt that there's mixers outside, and we're talking, we don't have to have Kelly, find somebody to bring us dinner, pay for something. It was just, hey, let's do happy hour on, once a month, once a quarter, something like that for our group in Richmond, just to bring other Richmond people to the table, or get to meet more from this side of town as well. And I just think it's an important piece, and they do as well. And we've had two of them in maybe the 6 months, or the year almost, and they've been great. People are attending them. You're getting to know somebody you never knew before. It's a handshake away of just getting to know more people instead of just our group.
We did when we did
Starcraft
Brewery last week.
Yep.
The group from Port Huron, the
adoption agency.
They joined.
They did.
They joined.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I don't even know how they knew about this at all. But
it must have been social media. The great job the office does with social media. But we had people attend it that we didn't know who they were, and they came to our mixer.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to hear
Let's
that they
talk
did it.
about, and I always say this in the office to the staff, our TNT groups probably house, I'm going to say between the five of them, about 100 to 110 members. What we find interesting is they join the chamber to get into the group, but then they never participate in anything else. Do you guys have any thoughts to that?
Other than just life getting busy, unfortunately. I mean, it really, like, there's sometimes that I do. I mean, my kids are older now even, and when they were younger, it was much harder, especially when you have spring just starting and spring sports. So if you're looking at stuff in the afternoon or in the evening, it's okay, this might be either that's my only day that I have an hour of time, or no, I'm going to be running around doing things. And I mean, you make do with what, if it's important, you're going to be there. Not that anything isn't important. It's just sometimes those things, I think you just have to realize that everybody wants to be able to participate if they can. But
Well, I
sometimes
see
things
mostly
it's-
Taylor and John from his group.
I
I try to
yes.
attend as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's again, it's that opportunity for people I don't see every day, other business owners, other people in the community that I get an opportunity. And you know what? It's just even being visible. I mean,
For your own
that's
business.
huge.
So just
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
here.
for sure. Yes, and you definitely want that. There is a lot more going on now than way more than when I first joined.
Right.
And so, like I said, with that, because you have people that are part of other organizations too, and those organizations have things going on. Your own work life has things, events going on that they're putting on. So it's just a juggle of, trying to make
Time.
sure. But it's great that they're there because you just never know. I mean, everybody's in a different season of their life, right? So you just don't know when I might have more time in the summer and fall than I do in the spring.
Right.
So,
No, that's a good point. And I think, and if I may, some people in the group I haven't seen outside doing anything else. And I try to encourage every single meeting, at every single meeting, there's so much more than just this group.
Sure.
There, and if anything, it's within your community. You're doing, some kind of activity, some event, some parade, some, tree lighting ceremony. It's across town on 32 Mile. You can go to pretty much any town that belongs to the chamber, and there's an event for you, your family, your extended family, your siblings. And I think that's also what it's all about. What you put into it is definitely what you get out. And I think if you have to go above and beyond what you are already doing, regardless of life, but understandable, that's life. But when you can, you make sure of it, and that's going to get you to those next levels in your business. You're wondering why you're not growing, or wondering why so and so doesn't even recognize me or know me. But how are they going to do that if you're just coming to those meetings? So
Right. We used to do this years back, and I think I'm going to bring it back again. At the end of the year at our Emma Awards, we would come up with a figure of the dollar amount of the business that was generated in each one of these groups. And it's pretty amazing what is happening just within these groups. So I think that's something we need to bring back.
it's pretty neat.
oh,
It's a
yeah,
good
that's
number.
definitely a
Yep.
good idea. I know during COVID, obviously, what is that? All of our life before COVID, after COVID, during COVID is the thing. But that was obviously way more challenging to try and track things, and then trying to reconfigure when we came
We
back
dropped
from
it off,
yeah,
yeah.
it was like, okay, now do we really need to all meet every single week, or is it good enough that we meet the 2 times, which I think is great because it does provide us sometimes every single week does get to be a little bit okay.
Old.
We all you see each other all the time. But if you're every 2 or twice a month, it
It's a
lets
good-
you compile a lot of that stuff
Agreed.
together and gives you a little more content, I guess, for each meeting versus like trying to pull something for content for
single
each
week,
meeting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it also I think it encourages better participation consistently when you have, only 2 meetings a month, because
Right.
it's not like, oh, I got to go again type
Right.
thing. So
Right.
Or
unlike,
stronger referrals and
Yes.
Right.
yeah, and
Yeah.
testimonials, I think. Because sometimes on a weekly basis, you've seen that person every single week. It
Right.
got old,
Yep.
didn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, you think about it from other relationships, you don't see all of your referral base on a weekly basis,
Right,
right?
right.
We
Right.
either rotate
Especially
them,
anymore. I
right?
mean, yeah, nobody's in offices as much as they used to
Right,
be, or
right.
they're working out of home,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
for sure.
Well, folks, I think we've covered a good insight, deep dive into our TNT groups, and I appreciate you guys joining me here today at the table. I have a few announcements for the chamber. The May's Member of the Month. Have you guys seen that posting? It's Vesna from First Street
Oh, yes, I did.
Photography.
Nice.
Vesna's been a member with us probably about 5 years, but she's so generous with her time. She has photographed all our events since she's joined gratis. And
nice.
she has come to the ribbon cuttings that she can make. So, Member of the Month for May is Vesna from First Street Photography. Then we have some upcoming events. On May 14th, we have a ribbon cutting at the Michigan School and Government Credit Union at 4 o'clock. They have a new location at 26 Mile. We're going to do that in conjunction with Sterling Heights Chamber. May 21st, we have a Canva workshop at Romeo District Library at 9:15. June 5th, Best Life Real Estate, brand new real estate office downtown Romeo, ribbon cutting at 1 p.m. June 8th is the Vintage Fest, and the Chamber will be hosting the adult beverage tent behind the Chamber office. Could always use some hands in pouring for that event that runs from 12 to 6. And then June 21st is our 12th annual Night Under the Stars at the Douglas House. And every year we pick a hometown success story. And this year our hometown success story is Kendra Knobloch. She is retiring as the drama teacher from Romeo High School. And when I told her about it, she said, "But I serve barbecue." I said, "Well, you're going to come up you're going to come up on the steps and tell us your story."
Oh, so nice. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always a fun night, the Night Under the Stars.
It is always a great time.
It's more social than chamber events. So we have the Taste of Romeo there. We have art, and then we have the Heartbreakers playing, and then the hometown success story. So thank you for participating today with the podcast. We hope you found this informative. If you have any suggestions for topics, please reach out to us at the Chamber office.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
for the
us.
opportunity.
Yep.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan, and you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.